Welcome back. Well, this week, rumblings in Washington, D.C. about a possible shakeup at the Pentagon are having reverberations all the way here in the volunteer state. NBC News is reporting Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is considering running for governor of Tennessee. Now, when it comes to the question of whether he's a resident, the former Fox News host checks that box, having moved to Middle Tennessee in 2022, residing in Goodlettsville. That's just 15 miles outside of Nashville in Sumner County. The embattled head of the Pentagon has been embroiled in scandals since taking office. The most serious one was Signalgate, where Hegseth shared classified information about attack plans in a group chat with a journalist in it. Now, if Hegseth joins the race, he would join the only other declared Republican candidate in the race, Congressman John Rose. Senator Marsha Blackburn is rumored to throw her name in the hat. And then as for the other side of the aisle from Shelby County, Memphis City Councilwoman Jerry Green has declared her intention to run. State Rep John Ray Clemens and former Congressman Jim Cooper are also rumored to be considering running. So I'm going to turn this now to Otis. Hegseth, 6 months in the cabinet, I believe, already, and kind of a short time to be thinking about getting out. So what is going on with Hegseth?
Well, he's an embattled guy. You've already said that, but we were talking off camera. He probably can't run anyway, right?
Unlikely. So he is a resident of Tennessee, but he needs to be a resident of Tennessee for 7 years before he's allowed to run for governor. And that's according to the state constitution. So it's not something that could be changed in the next session in order for him to qualify. And
even beyond that, Hegseth has more baggage than the overhead compartments on the 747. Let's just be honest about that. And I just don't see him being a front runner, even if he is eligible to run. The others are far more equipped and prepared. And I think we're going to see Marsha Blackburn officially announce something pretty soon. She was quoted in the Tennessee Journal, which is a very respected publication in the state. And she said, and I quote, I'm strongly looking at it. And then she says, I intend to run. I will win. And we'll make certain that Tennessee is the most conservative state in the country. Now, with all due respect, to call it the most, I'm going to make sure it's the most conservative state is not exactly what you need to be saying. You ought to be saying, I'm going to make it the most economically sound state or the forward-thinking state. But you're going to make it the most conservative state. That's not exactly assuring for a lot of voters. But if she runs, she is the front runner, and we'll just have to see what the others are.
Yeah, and honestly, that quote might sound good to the majority of Tennesseans. We're already one of the most conservative states when it comes to national elections. So, Bill Lee he got 59% of the vote in 2018. In 2022, he got 64% when running for re-election. So a lot of people, especially people that don't necessarily care who wins, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, they're just looking to work with, whoever the next governor is. They're looking at the Republican primary, not the Democrat primary. And all the conversation right now is, who are you going to support, Marsha Blackburn or John Rose? And Hegseth coming in and having a conversation or even getting his name out there, it seems like it was purposely leaked, to that he is even thinking about this. There is some discontent in D.C. that something's going wrong. If you want to go from a position where you're managing millions of federal employees to, the state governor, which is a big-time job, but from running the Pentagon, it almost seems a step down in terms of responsibility, especially on the world stage. So obviously something is not going well in D.C.
Yeah, and I do want to.
To go and run and start your own political career like that is a big left turn only 6-7 months into the administration. And they have got some wins to speak of. They've got some momentum, especially in terms of what they've been passing legislatively and what their successes have been economically. But here in Tennessee, I think right now it's a two-person race. It doesn't mean there's not room for someone else to get in, but John Rose went out there and announced that he's got over $6 million in the bank, and Marsha is certainly going to be putting up low 8 figures if she jumps in this full force.
I do want to say, just to give a disclaimer, that Sean Parnell, the Pentagon's chief spokesperson, when asked about this from reporters, was very much like, Hegseth's focus is on President Trump. Don't get it twisted. You guys are being fed wrong information, all of that. So they were, we're hearing all these rumors from Hegseth's inner team. It's kind of hearsay type thing. We haven't heard it from him himself. But, that doesn't mean that there are rumblings, as you said. So was it the signal gate, or what was it that's making it so contentious up there?
A lot of different things. I mean, he's had problems with the generals. I mean, and he's just a controversial figure. And maybe there's some subtle efforts here by the Trump administration to try to get rid of him, because he would have to resign in order to even run for governor. But again, he can't run for governor, so I don't know. There's another name that we haven't mentioned. That's Cameron Sexton. He's the speaker, and so he's out there. And Worth is absolutely right. People are looking at what the Republican primary is, not the Democratic primary. There's going to be a scramble over there, but I just don't see in this conservative state, which can't get any more conservative, that a Democrat has a chance to.
Wait. But we are seeing some pushback with the Tesla loop thing that's going on, and that a lot of Democratic lawmakers are being left out of these meetings that Republicans are holding with Elon Musk and whatnot. You don't think that maybe even the most conservative voters might be looking the Democratic way?
No, I don't.
Y'all been in here longer than I have, so I can't speak to Tennessee.
I think when it gets to the state and federal level, it's too hard to get across the aisle for the voters. Locally, it's a smaller bridge.
Okay. Well, all right. That's all the time we have.